Tanana Kids TV.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Tanana Kids TV, episode 9. Yay! Is it episode 9 already? It really is, Charlie. That's crazy. I know, time flies when you're having fun, right? It sure does. Alright, well, let's get straight into it. The word for today is obey. Obey, hey? Yeah, and obey means basically to do as you're asked. Right, well, I can't wait till I'm a grown-up. Well, why is that? Well, when you're a grown-up, you don't have to do what you're asked. Well, yes you do. No, you don't. You don't have to obey anybody. That's just for kids. No, it's actually not. Really? Adults have to obey as well? They do, yes. To find out more, let's go to Captain Dave Davely of The Todaily Show.
Welcome to the Todaily Show, and here's your host, Captain Dave Davely.
Hi everybody, hey, welcome. I haven't seen you for a while. Hey, welcome everybody to The Todaily Show. I'm your host, Captain Dave Davely, and our special guest today is Will. Alright, Will, thanks for coming in today. I really appreciate you coming in for the show today.
You're welcome, big fan. I've been watching you, Captain, and obviously Charlie, he's my favourite.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, a lot of people like Charlie. Yes, well, we got you in today because you do Kung Fu, which is really exciting.
I just stopped you there. It's actually Jiu-Jitsu that I do.
Oh, it'll be the same thing.
Well, there's a bit different.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, so Will does Jiu-Jitsu, and he's also a teacher as well. And so he's teaching people all sorts of things. And so we're going to talk to him today about the word obey. So, Will, who are the people that we should obey?
Because there's a lot of people out there that we should obey, obviously our parents and teachers. And particularly in Jiu-Jitsu, there's a lot of people who will teach you. Now, it sort of depends on how long you've been doing it for. Obviously, we get people who come in and they've never done anything before. And we actually award people who just come in for the first time ever probably the most important belt that we can give them. I've got it under here.
Yeah.
This is known as the white belt, and
right.
Possibly the most important belt of everything, because before you can do any of the other belts, you've got to achieve and actually come along. So the people who come along obviously get one of those, and that's where we start our journey.
Awesome.
And to move up the belt ranks, and you can see I've got a whole pile of them here.
Yeah.
Each belt rank, we're taught by our senseis, which is the name we give teacher in the dojo,
Yep. Cool.
And we're also taught by our senior students as well, which are known as senpais. So
Right.
sometimes it won't just be a teacher that's looking after you, it might be someone with a higher belt. Now our senpais start at green belt, so we actually start with our white belts and then we move to yellow, then orange. Once we get to green, we actually start helping the teaching process. And
Right.
for you to get from belt to belt, you have to obey and listen to those people who are teaching you. So obviously the sensei or the person with the green belt or higher.
Yeah, wow, awesome. And so, why is it important for kids to obey their adults in their life?
All right. Well, let's bring it back to Jiu-Jitsu again.
Yep.
Safety is the main thing.
Yep.
When I bring someone in, sometimes they're really strong, but they don't know how to control themselves.
Yep.
Sometimes they've never done anything like this before, and they don't want to get hurt.
Yep.
And that's really important to me. So when someone comes into my dojo, I want to make sure that they're going to be safe and that they, of course, aren't going to hurt the people around them. So
Yep.
when we do any sort of sparring, which is sort of like not fake fighting, because we're actually having a go at it, but we're practicing it, so we're going very light. I'll often teach people how to look after their opponents, because we're all on the same team really, and to be safe so that they don't injure the other people or themselves.
Yeah, okay, cool. And that's about the kids, but what about adults? Do they have to obey too?
Oh, absolutely. I even get adults come into the dojo, and some of these people are much, much bigger than me, but for them to learn, they need to know that someone's got to be in charge or nothing's going to get done.
Yep.
And it's the quickest way to learn. Why would you not listen to me when I know all of these different belts and I've gone through black belt 3 different times? It's probably a good way to do it. And of course in life, if we go beyond Jiu-Jitsu, police officers, doctors and health specialists, and of course our parents and teachers, really important people to learn and obey.
Yep, awesome. All right, great. All right, there's just one last thing. Thanks for Will actually for coming in today. I appreciate your time, but there's just one thing I just wanted to clear up. Like, none of this kung fu is real, is it? Like,
It's pretty real, yeah.
like
yeah.
but it's a bit like the WWF, like wrestling. It's sort of like made up and sort of fake sort of stuff.
Oh, not really. You could really hurt someone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think so, but that's all right. I reckon I could probably fight you. Anyway.
I could show you if you want.
Oh, okay.
Will versus Captain Day. Round 1. Fight. Will wins easily. Round 2. Fight. Will wins. Fight. 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 Will wins. Round 47. Fight. Will wins.
So there you go, Charlie. We all have to obey rules, even adults. Yeah, right. Can you imagine if adults didn't obey rules? Like, as adults, we actually even have more rules than kids. Oh no! I want to stay a kid then. I know, right? So adults have to do things like obey the road rules. And things like, I'm a husband and I have to obey my wife. Oh, you better! And on top of the rules that we follow now as adults, we still have to follow the rules that we learnt as kids. Like what? Well, we shouldn't run next to the pool.
Here we go! Here we go!
We shouldn't feed the animals when we're not meant to. Oh, you can feed me though. I know that, I'm always feeding you, especially your mini monkeys. Oh yeah! But, you know, as adults we still have to follow rules like we should wear our helmets. And we still need to wear our seatbelts.
I don't need a seatbelt.
So there you go, Charlie. Adults and kids should follow the rules, and we should obey the people that are in charge of us. Otherwise, the world would be crazy. Yeah, crazy! Now, to look at another example, let's look at our story for today.
Story time with Dave and Charlie.
Alright, Charlie, we've learnt that we should really obey the people that are in charge. That's right, so you should obey me. Why's that? I'm in charge. What? Yeah, I'm in charge of Tanana Kids TV. I don't think so. Alright, we might talk about that later. But anyway, this guy today in our story, he's got a hard decision to make because he has two people that are in charge of him. Oh, right. And they both have different rules to obey. Oh no! So, he has to make a choice. Does he obey one person's rule or the other? Let's find out. Oh, the suspense!
This is Daniel.
Hang on, what's with the fancy background?
Well, when Daniel was a boy, he lived in Israel, but they weren't obeying the rules God gave them. So he let the Babylonians capture Israel and take them all back to Babylon.
Oh, that's horrible!
It is, but God told them that he would look after them in their new home if they obeyed him.
Oh, good.
God even said they should obey their new king's rules.
Oh, so they didn't need to obey God's rules anymore?
Actually, yes, they did.
What? How do they obey 2 sets of rules?
Good question.
Thank you.
It's like this. At a school, each class has lots of little rules. These are like the king's rules. Then, there are a few big rules called the school rules. These are sort of like God's rules. You can follow both sets of rules at the same time. So God was happy for everyone to follow King Darius's rules, unless they were opposite to God's rules. Now Daniel was good at obeying the rules.
A bit like me.
Sure. In fact, he was so good that King Darius and Daniel became good friends. King Darius would be all like, "What's up, Dan the man?" And Daniel would be like, "King D, what's up?"
Really?
No, not really. I just wanted to call King Darius King D.
You're so weird.
So, King D decided to put Dan in charge of running the whole kingdom.
Whoa, he was gonna be Dan the boss man.
You know it. But some of the king's other helpers got jealous because they wanted to be the boss.
Uh-oh.
So they came up with a plan to find something bad Dan had done and tell the king. They called it the Dan Plan.
They did not. Anyway, what did they find?
Well, actually, nothing.
What?
No, Dan was so good at obeying the rules that they couldn't find anything wrong.
Great!
So they came up with a new plan called
The Dan Plan 2.0. Man, they sure like to plan.
Yep, they tricked the king into making a new rule.
What was the new rule? No bananas?
No, even worse.
What do you mean? Nothing could be worse than that.
Okay. Well, the new rule was if you prayed to anyone except the king, you'd be thrown.
Wait! Let me guess. Did they get thrown into jail?
No.
In detention? No! In a giant whoopee cushion!
How would you even do that? No. Anyway, if you prayed to anyone except the king, you would be thrown into the lion's den.
Oh, were they hungry?
So hungry.
Uh-oh.
The problem was the king's rule was opposite to one of God's big rules.
Oh no!
The king's rule said you could only pray to the king, and God's rule said you could only pray to God.
So which rule did Dan obey?
Like he did every day. Actually 3 times a day. He prayed to the one who was more powerful and more important to him, God.
That's okay, maybe no one saw him.
They did see him, and they told King D. King D was so sad because he knew Dan had to be thrown into the lions. The next day, Dan was thrown into the lion's den. They called it,
Please don't. Your dad jokes aren't helping anybody.
oh, okay. They called it the Dan Den.
Seriously.
A big rock was put on the entrance, so he couldn't escape. King D could not sleep all night because he was so worried.
He's worried? What about Daniel? He's the one who should be worried.
Actually, Daniel wasn't worried at all.
What?
Do you remember what God said at the start of the story?
I don't know, something about looking after... Wait! God promised to look after his people.
You got it. So during the night, an angel came. the mouths of the lions so they could not eat Daniel. Cool! The next day, King D was all like, "Hey Dan, you still alive, man?" And Dan was like, "King D, I'm so alive, man." King D was so impressed, he changed his new rule and told people they should pray to the God of Daniel.
Okay.
Dancing beat. Hi everyone, I'm your best friend, back in town again.
Well, we just saw that obeying is sometimes a little bit hard.
It sure is. I don't like obeying you.
I know you don't. And you know what? Sometimes as kids, it's hard to obey our parents. But that was actually one of the 10 commandments that God gave to the Israelites. We should really still obey today. We should obey our parents.
Really?
Yes, we should. So let's check out this clip and see if these kids are obeying their parents.
Annie, can you please clean up your room?
No.
Oh. Jack, can you do the dishwasher?
No way.
Hey Heidi, can you take the bin out?
No chance.
Wow, those kids weren't obeying their dad at all.
Yeah, they weren't doing what they were asked, were they?
I've got an idea. The dad should come up with a different strategy. Children, you are no longer my children. You are now miniature soldiers, ready to obey me and do what I say. When I ask you something, you will reply with "Sir, yes, sir."
Sir, yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Sir, yes, sir.
Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left. Annie! Are you ready to clean up this mess?
Sir, yes, sir.
Alright, I'm gonna time you to pick up the toys. Ready, set. Go, Annie, go, Annie, go, go, go. Faster, come on, make your best time, come on. You can do better, hurry up. Pick up those toys. Pick up those star jumps, Annie, come on. Hey, Heidi, come on, faster, bigger. Yeah, get those knees up, that's good, arms up. Hey, what are you doing, come on. Jeremiah, are you ready to unpack the dishwasher?
Sir, yes, sir.
Alright, I'm gonna time you. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2. Go, go, go. Faster, faster. Faster, faster, Jared. Yes, that's better. That's my boy. One more, come on. Faster, like this. Pick up those knees. Let's go. Let's jog. Come on. You can do better than that. Come on. Heidi! Are you ready to take the bin out? I want your fastest time. I'm timing you.
Sir, yes, sir.
Ready, set, go. Pull, 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 pull. Faster, 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 faster. On your faster time. All right, kids, I call this training. Arms to the sides and walk. Here we go. Lift those arms up. Let's go, Paul. I want to hear some choo-choos. That was awesome.
No, Charlie. That's not how it should work.
Why not?
Well, that won't last for long, and that's not the way it should be done.
Really?
Yeah, you know what? God doesn't actually want us to obey Him because we're scared of Him, and He doesn't want us to obey our parents just because they're yelling at us. You know what? God wants us to obey Him because we love Him, and He wants us to obey our parents because it's the right thing to do.
All right.
Now, let's check in with these kids and try again.
Annie, can you please clean up your room?
Yes, Dad.
Jay, can you do the dishwasher?
Sure, Dad.
Heidi, can you take the bin out?
No worries, bro.
You wet, bro?
bro.
Well, there we have it, Charlie. Those kids did a pretty good job of obeying their dad.
They sure did.
Now, they did a good job, but I understand sometimes it's actually really hard to obey your parents, or your teachers, or whoever's in charge of you.
It sure is.
And you know what? Those people aren't always perfect, and sometimes they make mistakes.
They sure do.
But we should, the best we can, try and obey the people that are in charge of us and try and follow those rules. Because, in general, most of those people that are in charge of us are trying to keep us safe, and also they're more experienced than us, and they know things a little bit better than us, and they're just trying to help us.
Yeah. You know what, Dave? I'll try and obey you.
Okay, well, it's actually your turn to clean the toilets today. You ready to go? Activity time! Hey everybody, in life, there's not just consequences for not obeying, there's also rewards for obeying. So in our picture for today, King D has set free all the lions, and he wants to set up the den now, not as a place for consequences, but a reward place that has lots of fun stuff to do in there for the people that obey the rules. So I want you to rename the den and put some fun stuff in there. Think about what would you like to do? What would you like to have as your reward? So, this is mine here. It's called the Disco Den. And everyone's wearing roller skates, there's lights, there's music, there's food, everyone's dancing and having lots of fun. So, that's mine. What would you like to do as your reward? Rename the den as a fun place for people to go as their reward for obeying.
Hello everybody and welcome to the 5-second quiz where you have to answer questions in 5 seconds. The first question is, what is the word of the week? Oh, I don't know, but you know what? I think we should get your mum in and ask her how good you were as a child. Oh no, we should not do that. Alright, the answer is obey. Alright, question 2 is, what did Daniel get thrown into? Hey, you know what? I had a dream last night. About what? Getting thrown into a massive pool of mini monkeys. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Alright, Daniel got thrown into a lion's den. Good job if you got it. Question 3 is, who got taught a lesson by Will? Oh dear. Ha! You know what? That Will is so handsome. I know, right? Is he even real? I don't know. Alright, the answer is Dave. It doesn't really count though, because you got beaten up by your baby brother, your baby sister, and the baby.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching again this week. We hope you have a great week. And also remember, where you can and when you can, try and obey the rules and the people that are in charge.
Alright, Dave.
What are you doing? March! Left! Right! Left! Right! Left! Right! See you next week! Left! Right!
Tanana Kids TV.
Okay.
Dancing beat. Hi everyone,